so many years ago, I worked on this huge project in Jackson, Mississippi. I worked for the University of Mississippi Medical Center when they purchased an old shopping mall, and they converted that shopping mall into a multidisciplinary healthcare facility. And in that place, I was a part of hardware and software deployment. So where not only I was able to go in and help install just the physical computers, but also to install the software and then to train the staff on how to use it. Another thing that we were able to do, now this was back in the infancy of EHRs and patient platforms, back before they were really as sophisticated as they are now, but there were still opportunities where people got to see how things changed with digital health versus where it used to be paper charts, that sometimes they would be incomplete. Sometimes they'd have to go up to the floor and grab them and bring them back down and make copies. It was just so much different, and it was so much better serving for a population that, again, might not have been able to be there to experience healthcare as they always had known it. So digital health has just been so transformative and so beneficial, and how it has evolved, and it drove my passion because, again, I remember being there when they had paper records. I remember then moving into the days of the hybrid record, where you would still have piles of charts because you scan things in, and then moving to a fully digital record, into patient portals, into telemedicine, and just being a part of that has really driven my passion for digital health. There are two things that have been very rewarding for me. The first thing is just as simple as seeing patients discover the value of telemedicine and telehealth, patient portals, how they communicate with their doctors, how they can send them an email and get a response back from a nurse, or sometimes the doctor would even respond. As not only a healthcare professional, as a health informaticist, and then as even a patient, just the most rewarding thing for me is when I send my doctor a message. My doctor has my chart, they answer questions relevant to my care, and it's not just a thank you for your email automated response. It's actually them taking the time to care for me as a patient. As an educator, what's most fulfilling for me has been seeing students that come in that have very little knowledge about the value of digital care, and how through their didactic instruction and going through the master's at Morehouse School of Medicine in health informatics, that they have been able to really discover the value in their communities among vulnerable and medically neglected populations of how telehealth and platforms and all telemedicine, digital health, all of this has been so important and so essential to helping us to manage chronic healthcare conditions and also to provide quality care to those vulnerable populations. All right, of course they need to know they need to be tech savvy. They need to be able to use the technology, and even if they are not absolutely experts at it, they have to be willing to learn how to use that technology. Another thing that's very important is their communication, because not only are they communicating with providers, they're also communicating with these patients. And not all patients are healthcare literate. Not all of them understand what it is when you say, hey, your patient portal is ready, here's your sign up, log on to this website, put in your passcode, sign up for. A lot of them don't really understand, especially our older and aging patient population. So the ability to communicate well, your tech savviness to be able to adjust and to learn platforms and new technology, and then just your willingness to evolve with this changing healthcare ecosystem. Those are three very important skills that can help not only in digital medicine, but across healthcare as a whole. I do think that we will see evolution. I do think that we will see digital medicine become a larger part of patient care and what we do to provide care for our patient population, because again, patient population is aging and not everyone can get to the doctor's office. And then with the number of aging population. Some of our physicians, they don't have the bandwidth. We see a lot of physician burnout. So I think that that's one thing to consider. Some of the challenges might be still, regardless, I think that it would always be an issue with making sure that people have access to the internet, to the technology, so that they can utilize digital health. As far as the workforce is concerned, we have to make sure that people still have a love and have a desire to learn about the benefits and about digital health. With artificial intelligence and machine learning, those becoming such a huge part of digital health and digital medicine, you have to make sure that you continue to learn. Your learning doesn't stop once you finish a program. When you move into the field, you have to continue to learn. One of those challenges will be that if they stop, then they are not up to date with what goes on in the workforce. And another challenge would, of course, be just making sure that we understand that the human touch is still important. While we do have digital medicine and we do have these platforms and these systems that we use to provide care, there still has to be some face-to-face connection, even if it's via video, a voice over the phone, or just something to make people feel like they're not just a number and not just a face on the screen. So maintaining that human connection, even in the digital healthcare world. Oh, right now, I do have some publications that I'm working on about the value of networking, of course, for my students as they transition into the digital healthcare workspace. I'm working on some projects to help my students to obtain industry-specific and industry-relevant certifications related to health informatics and digital medicine. Personally, I am still continuing to do some continuing education and professional development for health information management, health informatics, digital health, artificial intelligence, machine learning, everything that's going on in the industry. I'm trying to stay abreast of that because, as an educator, sometimes we get disconnected but I know as a long-term practicing scholar that what's in the textbook is very rarely aligned with everything that happens in the workforce. So for right now, just working to continue to evolve and grow personally and professionally, to continue to work on my independent projects, also to work with my students and also my peers and colleagues on publication, to continue to present. I do a lot of presentations on social determinants of health and also on artificial intelligence in medical education. So just staying busy, just staying abreast of what's going on and what's changing.